Okay. Failing a lift. Here's somebody that wants to know about failing a lift. I am currently working through a novice linear progression and reading starting strength. I usually lift solo as I have not found a consistent workout partner. If I do fail a squirt, of course they mean squat. That must be a misspelling. Y'all didn't do that on purpose, did you? Because that is kind of gross. And copy and paste. What's the safest way to bail out without a spotter? Well, you set the squat down on the pins inside the rack you're squatting in. That's what the rack is for. Now, there is no safe way to bail out of a squat in the absence of bumper plates and a large amount of space. If you're doing this in your garage, you start bailing out of squats, jumping out from underneath them, you're going to just fuck everything up in a garage. And look, as far as I'm concerned, if you fuck everything else up in your garage, that's fine with me. You shouldn't have bailed out of the squat. What you should do is be properly equipped to train. You need a rack. You need pins set inside the rack, the proper height. If you get stuck, you just set it back down on the pins. You good morning it back down onto the pins. Nobody gets destroyed. The bar didn't get bent. Holes aren't placed in the sheetrock. Windshield doesn't get knocked out of your car. None of these things take place if you're properly equipped to train. And properly equipped to train the squat by yourself is probably going to mean a power rack that is deep enough for you to squat inside of. Unfortunately, you have asked this question in a way that leads me to believe that you have watched people on the internet jump out from under a squat with bumper plates on it. CrossFit, among other things, has taught us that it's perfectly fine to jump out from under a squat. It's not perfectly fine to jump out from under a squat because, first and foremost, if you jump out from under a squat and you are not in the correct situation, things are going to get broken. All right? Unfortunately, probably not you, but the surrounding material objects are going to suffer from having a squat bar dropped on them. Okay? Second, and this is really the most important part of this thing, if you give yourself permission to stop pushing on something that is hard, to the extent that the minute it slows down even a little bit, you just automatically jump out from underneath it, you're not ever going to get strong because you have decided that when it gets hard, you're out of there. One of the things you have to learn, one of the valuable lessons that the barbell teaches you is that even if it's hard, you don't know that you can't do it until you try. If the urgency is there, if you are not sure of the fifth rep of this set and rack the fourth rep, then you don't know what you could have done on the fifth rep. You don't know. You may assume that you couldn't have done it, but you don't know that for sure until you try it. And there's not a one of us that have trained for any length of time that haven't had the experience of getting to the fifth rep. It's time to ride the fifth rep down and come back up. And you say to yourself, that fourth rep really felt like shit. I don't know if I can do this. But the workout says 5 reps of the third set of 5. It says 5 reps. This is the 5th rep, and I'm going to do it. I'm at least going to try it. And have taken this rep down, not knowing whether or not you can come back up with it. And taken it down and hit the bottom and driven back up. And it was slow, and it was hard, and it was unpleasant. You didn't like it, but you did it anyway. You were successful, having not known that you would be successful, doubting that you could do it, and proving to yourself by having the balls to do the rep, that you could in fact do things that you didn't know for sure you couldn't do. This is one of the most powerful lessons of barbell training, that your limits are not where you think they are. And until you make up your mind that you're not going to bail out of the squat, then you're not going to learn this. And this is one of the main reasons you ought to be here, okay?